Cornucopias is a cutting-edge open-world MMO set in a world where humanity has ascended from the Earth's surface and created a breathtaking new world in the sky. This fantastical realm is a system of floating islands carved from the land we once called home, now encased in radically advanced dome-shaped structures suspended high above the clouds. Each one is a futuristic marvel with its own unique environment, identity, and thriving communities. It is within these domes the epic journey begins. Here, players take control of their own personal avatar, which gives them the freedom to choose their destiny. Be immersed in vast landscapes, explore vibrant settlements, and engage in a myriad of activities such as crafting, commerce, combat, racing, and more. Welcome to a world where the sky is no longer the limit.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining Copi Cafe number 108. You've got Rob Gregg here, and I'm Josh Jones, and we're here to share with you, as always, a little bit more about what Cornucopias has been working on in the past week. And so we've got a fun show coming up. We're going to a little update on the nodes, not too much there, the sale date, and a little more discussion around the sale that's upcoming. We're talking about the Game Pass, which is a new thing that we've released, Seasonality, and then we have a very special guest. One of our board of advisors, Jen, will be joining us, and then as always, a leak and some questions. So, Rob, what are you drinking today?
Well, today, backed by big demand because people were in shock last week, the return of Diet Coke comes back again.
And
why not? What are you drinking?
Sadly, we're both drinking products with aspartame in it as a sweetener. We don't want to do that too much, Rob.
Sweet.
It's a neurotoxin. All right. So I'm drinking a Fairlife protein shake.
Fairlight or Life?
Fairlife.
Oh,
It's a reasonably healthy, not entirely healthy means of getting protein. It's not the best, but anyway, that's what I'm drinking right now.
very nice. Pictures of cows on it, does it?
Do what?
Does it have pictures of cows on it?
There is one cow.
Does that cow fart? Oh no, that was last week's question.
I'm sure it does. So nodes update. There's not a lot other than we're just tackling a lot of these back end details, refining it, optimizing it, improving how it works. And I believe we're going over to public, some of the public, maybe some of the OGs next week. Is that correct?
Yeah. We're starting a invited list of testers to begin with. And then we're going to roll that out. The plan is for that to actually go live, integrated into the launcher, and all future downloads to happen by the end of the year.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Great work to the Nodes team and Greg there. He's done a phenomenal job. And Jeff and the team with tying it into our existing functionality on the back end of the website, and then also some of the front end as well for you guys to see and operate there. So yeah, it's coming along quite nicely.
And with rewards that our QA team have been claiming on Cardano and on Base, right. So that will either be released this week or next week for the community node holders to claim their rewards on either chain.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so next up is the sale. We have a date announcement, and just in the event that we have any last minute issues, I'm putting an asterisk by the date. But the plan is for Wednesday, the 23rd, the sale will start, and that will run over approximately 3 weeks. And maybe some assets will stay up for a while longer, but we'll kind of rotate them in and out, and it's just going to be fun. It's a new experiment that we're doing that's going to give us a lot of information. And one of the things that I'm most excited about is it's our first step towards the tokenomics plan that we announced about 6 months ago. It's in our wiki about how the Copi token is going to have utility in Cornucopias and what that's going to look like. And it's our first step towards that. So we will be accepting Copi token for some of the assets that are for sale. And we will gradually increase that over time to where all assets are for sale with the Copi token as well. So all the marketplace assets. Or at least close to that. So that's our goals, and this is exciting. We've got assets for sale on Cardano, on Base, some for Copi token. There's one free asset. So if you're watching this and you don't want to participate in the sale, at least come and get the NFT. You might as well.
Free one,
yeah, because it's free. Well, it'll just be paying the meager blockchain fees that is on either Cardano or Base. So it's pretty easy to do. So come participate. That's what I'm most excited about with the sale is a lot of that, and just understanding how we're doing on Base chain versus Cardano chain, and which assets people are really liking, and it's fun. But when I look at that marketplace, which is, well, more to be shown there soon, but when I look at that, I get incredibly fired up. It's exciting what we have coming. So what about
version 3 of the marketplace? Yeah, so if you're on Cardano, you'll be able to pay in ADA. If you're on Base, you'll be able to pay USDC. And those items that are on Copi, you'll be able to pay with whichever chain that's on. But yeah, this is the third version now of our marketplace. It's geared towards multi-chain, so it's a multi-chain marketplace. Also geared towards selling multiple items. Some of the items are going to be on for a few weeks, then we're going to rotate them for others, and then they'll come back, and then the ones that are sold out will remain sold out. All the items have a fixed quantity, the same quantity in this sale on Cardano and on Base. And apart from the cargo ship, everything will be playable in game within the next build, which either might come out at the same time or it'll be very, very close, because this is a seasonal release, so we need to get it out before the season finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be fun. So yeah, pay attention, stay in our Discord, join our community, and come check out that sale, or at the very least, grab your NFT. So the Game Pass, or the Early Access Pass, is actually the official title for it. That's been released. And so I think one of the primary things for me that I'm excited about with that is that, we have a percentage of people coming to our site every month, and I can get the exact data from Google Analytics, but that have never been to the site before. And so for these people to come and see a play button instead of a how to play, or, with a long example of a long explanation of how to get a Cardano NFT or whatever. Instead of that, we now have a play button. So it's easy, and you can pay the $10 fee so others have skin in the game, as well as our NFT holders, which were the current people that had early access pass. Now we've got a inexpensive means of getting in and playing the game and growing our community gradually to the whole of Web3, and even also mainstream gamers. If you're a mainstream gamer and you've heard about us, you might have wanted to come and play, but then you saw this explanation of how to get a Cardano NFT, you're not doing it. So this is a means of us growing our community, and I think it's a very I'm just excited about it because it's powerful. It makes it a lot easier. It creates a much better first impression. Oh, wait, wow, now they have a game that's live that we can play. that's a great first impression for that newcomer that comes to our website, rather than the fully gated experience that we've had before, gated in the sense that you had to own a Cardano NFT. And one important point to note is that if you do have a vehicle NFT, a custom dome, a land NFT, or a node, any of those NFTs, you already have early access to play the game. There's nothing new that you need to do. This is just for someone new that doesn't know how to use Cardano or Web3 at all. And you can just pay with your credit card and jump in the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's very common for games to have kind of like an early access fee. Well, when our game eventually goes live, it's free to play. So there'll be no need to pay anything to play the game, but it is early access. And like you say, in building that ability, it helped us to integrate credit cards and debit cards into our marketplace, and that will have massive advantages in the future.
Yep. And it's not really a revenue play currently, just because we haven't done so much marketing that would generate that kind of volume. So it's really a very small amount of people currently using the pass. But what it does do is it helps offset a little bit of the Amazon costs as well, and the cost of the infrastructure. And so that's another positive about it for us. But yeah, this is exciting. I want somebody new that comes to our website to feel welcome, and just like we've cultivated the mindset in our Discord community of welcoming the newcomer that doesn't have a clue who we are and what we're doing, we want to be welcoming on our website as well. And so it's not welcoming when there's heavy gating. It is more welcoming when it says play, and it's super easy for me to jump in the game. That is a huge win for us.
Yeah, and a lot of gamers also, they might not be familiar with Discord. That was a barrier as well to come in and register everything. This was the first Discord that I'd ever joined. Yep. And there is a bit of a learning curve to begin with, and some people resist doing that kind of thing. So we've removed all the barriers. You don't need access to Discord anymore either.
That's correct. So
I highly recommend it, though.
Next up is seasonality. You want to go ahead and lead off that one? Ooh.
We're approaching spooky season.
I thought you were about to pick your nose, but sorry.
No.
All right, go ahead.
His nose. Skeletor's nose. You got He-Man next season to him, making him, behave himself.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get ahead of myself. But we kind of leaked last week that we're doing something Halloween. We can give a little bit more information, but not really much. We have transformed one of the areas within Toledo Valley. We will let people discover that. We may have a tiny preview maybe next week. Who knows?
We'll do a little bit of leaking there, a little more to get people.
A bit of work's gone into that. It's not just throw down a few pumpkins here and there. So it's all part of showing that, like other games, the really popular ones, we will have seasons. So we'll have a Halloween season. We'll have Christmas. We'll probably have Easter and all of the seasons kind of going forward. That will be reflected in our marketplace, maybe some of the assets that we sell, but definitely in game. And that's actually quite exciting. When you play the game maybe 4 or 5 hours every day for weeks and weeks, just to have these little touches where the map's familiar but it changes slightly. I think it freshens it up a little bit and gives you something new to look forward to. Fortnite do that really, really well, and they're also
this is a common practice for so much that goes on in business, not even just Web3 gaming, is seasonality and keeping with kind of the general vibe of what's going on culturally. Overall, obviously that can't be perfectly done. The world is very diverse, but we're going to celebrate a few, and this is one of them. And I think it adds a fun new element that will build up over time. So the assets that you can get in this particular spooky season sale, you know what? We can announce the name of the sale.
Oh,
and the name of the next build. Quantum Autumn is the name of the
Quantum
sale.
Autumn.
In the next, yeah, it's the Quantum Autumn.
Can you say that 3 times in a row?
Quantum Autumn, Quantum Autumn, Quantum Autumn. Yeah, it kind of rolls off the tongue. But yeah, that's our next sale. And our next build release is Quantum Autumn. I think it's fun. It will build up over time. So next year we'll add even more assets that can come into the Halloween kind of celebration and event, and we'll have more assets that we'll add into the Christmas kind of giving the seasonality, and there'll be temporary things that we just kind of pop into the game and give you a new experience that just makes it a little bit more fun.
Yeah, Christmas or holiday season. I think you call it holiday season in America, don't we? Because there's various holidays that are celebrated.
Is the more, some don't celebrate Christmas, so that's important to say it's holiday season.
And actually, people have been speculating what Quantum Jack will be. So Quantum Jack will be a helmet. It's a free NFT that we're going to give to while there's limited stock remains. Mm-hmm. And so Quantum Jack not only is a helmet, it's a pumpkin helmet, and it's not static. Things inside it move. So that's actually a different type of asset that we've done before, and for that to be free, and it's of limited quantity, and it will be the only one. It's kind of like the OG Halloween asset, which is completely free. Next Halloween, we'll do other types, but we won't re-release this. I didn't expect us to do kind of this seasonal changes so quickly. I thought that would be something we might do in a year from now. But yeah, when you see what we've done to Toledo, and it just fits in nice with the launch of the new marketplace, I just think, although the team are overworked, they're now triply overworked. I won't tell you which team member this is, but we probably worked them a bit too hard, but they wear shades.
Yeah.
But I think it'll go down really, really well.
I agree, and thankfully our team is passionate and really cares about what we're building, and we'll give them a break here soon as well. So, Okay, next topic is next up we have Jen that will be joining us for today's interview. And as a quick heads up, Rob is unable to make the time that Jen is able to join us, so it'll just be me interviewing Jen, and then we'll follow that with a leak and the questions. So, all right. Okay. Hey, welcome, Jen. Welcome to Copi Cafe. And it's your first time on Copi Cafe, correct?
It is. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. Before we get too far along, what are you drinking today?
In my Tiger cozy.
Cozy.
It's really boring, but Waterloo strawberry is my favorite.
Did you know that happens to be one of the drinks that I've had many of on Copi Cafe?
I did not know that, but
you mean you haven't watched all 108 episodes?
I've watched all of a couple.
Okay, good.
Of you guys, and many but it's my favorite. It's the best flavor.
That's one of my favorite drinks. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm having a little protein milk. Not as good as a Waterloo, I have to admit, but hey, that's okay. So it's great to have you on, and I think our community, they know who you are because we talked about you guys a little bit in the past, and we've had Eric Peterson up and we've had Philip up, but now save the best for last. Just kidding, guys. But no, it's great to have you on. Your role is more on the marketing side with us on our board of advisors. And it's been great working with you so far, and we're really excited to be kicking this off and glad to have you on Copi Cafe. But for those that don't know anything about you, do you mind just giving us a quick rundown of your background and how'd you end up getting into gaming and all that good stuff?
Yeah, I'll give you the origin story. So, hey everybody, my name is Jen Donahoe. I have spent half my career in the toy industry, which is why there is a original pink Power Ranger helmet from the show and a sword too. By the way, that's one
Awesome.
of the Power Ranger swords. And so half my career was in the toy industry. Oh, also I'm from Texas. So that's why you see a Emmett Smith signed Dallas Cowboy helmet.
Oh,
here
I'm
in
jealous of
Austin.
that. I'm from Dallas, and
Yes.
Emmett Smith days were the good days, the glory
Right?
days. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the 92, 93 Super Bowl. Yeah. No, I hear you.
yeah.
And whole other tangent is Dak and the $250 million. Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
another time. Maybe another time. All right.
Yeah,
So back to my origin
yeah.
story. Half my career was in the toy industry. I made action figures like Star Wars, Batman's, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, Toy Story. So I worked at Hasbro, Mattel, and Disney.
Hmm.
And then I always loved playing games. I grew up, Wizardry is my favorite game of all time on the Apple II Plus, Nintendo, like every single, even on the Commodore 64, Choplifter on the Commodore 64. If
Hey,
you
I
remember
played on
what,
the Commodore 64 as well.
yeah. You
Lode
remember that?
Runner is the only one I remember.
Oh, I played that one too.
Have you?
That was a
Yeah,
good one.
yeah.
So I always wanted to be in video games or the toy industry. And luckily, after my stint in the toy industry, I really thought that video games were going to be the future. I saw more and more kids playing video games at a younger age. And so I was able to transition to EA as my very first job in gaming because EA did a deal with Hasbro to do all of the toys and games licensed there. And so video games is a very difficult industry to break into. I get these questions all the time. How do you get in? And luckily, with my boss, we did a trade. He's like, if you teach me kids and family marketing, I'll teach you video games. And so deal. And so that was my origin story into video games. So I spent 5-6 years at EA on all the platforms. I was at the birth of mobile gaming, and saw the transition from all of the consoles and PC to adding on mobile. After EA, I was at Zynga and led marketing on the Farmville franchise. I was at Scopely and did marketing for all of their mid-core games,
Hmm.
Walking Dead, WWE Champion, Star Trek, Looney Tunes, all of these different games. I worked on Monopoly Go version 1. Monopoly Go, as many folks know, is the number one mobile game right now, $3 billion in revenue. That thing rakes it in. It passed Go and collected
You
$3
worked
billion.
on that? Is
I worked on
Mark?
version 1, and so the
Okay.
game was in development for 7 years, and it went through a few iterations. The version I worked on was Clash of Clans meets Monopoly,
Hmm.
and the version that launched is Coin Master meets Monopoly.
Okay.
So
So
kind of
it
funny.
changed a bit. Yeah.
It changed a lot. So after Scopely, I went to Riot. I led growth for League of Legends, and then I set up all of the mobile publishing so that Riot could start launching mobile games like Wild Rift, like Teamfight Tactics. After Riot, I did a little startup with some actually the guy who hired me at EA. His name is Chip. And my startup is still around, but then I decided to kind of add on consulting. And so I've done lots of things, as you can tell. And so in being a consultant, I get to work with lots of different people, helping lots of different problems, primarily around marketing or publishing or community. And part of that journey has been joining a podcast. And so on the podcast called Deconstructor of Fun, I do that with Phil, who you had on last week.
Yeah.
And so every week we distill all of the weekly game industry news. And then we also interview people in the game industry, do deep dives on products. It's a very kind of inside baseball, B2B game industry podcast. It's not for gamers, it's
Mhm.
a little bit more inside baseball. And on that podcast, what's great is become a little bit game industry famous, which is weird. When you go to game industry events, people like, "Are you Jen?" And it's like, yes, I am. So it's surreal to be mildly game industry famous. The other thing it allows us to do is to really connect with and understand all of the facets. And so today we recorded an episode of Off the Grid and talking about the success of that game. And so we have been very critical of Web3 in the past, but I
Mhm.
think what's nice is seeing now that there are some There's some positive momentum in the space. And so if you are interested in learning more about game industry insiders info, go check out Deconstructor of Fun.
Yeah, and
Start
I'll
with
include
episode
the links.
300.
I will
Yeah.
definitely include the links to that in this video description, so you guys, so our community can go check out what you guys are doing, because I think a lot of them would be very interested to listen to some of your podcasts. And I know I've enjoyed it, and I have not seen the Off the Grid one. I want to see that. Out of curiosity, what is your take? Because I know we've discussed this in the past in some of our earlier calls. Because you've got a very super solid mainstream gaming background, and you're with the Cornucopias move, you're starting to move a little bit in the direction of Web3. But you had indicated one of the main problems that you're aware of is mainstream gamers' perception of what Web3 is. There's a knee-jerk reaction that people have to the word NFT, Web3, and crypto when it comes from mainstream gamers. So out of curiosity, what is your take on Off the Grid and what they're doing, and how that might help to change perception from mainstream gamers?
Yeah. So first is one of the other things that I do right now too is I partner with a consumer insights company that allows us to talk to gamers across all different kinds of games: mobile, console, PC, and Web3. And one of the things that we have found is that many gamers in general are, I'll use the term, allergic to terms like you said, NFT, crypto. And I think this isn't anything that we don't already know. When you present it in that kind of old school speculation format, traditional gamers don't want to engage in or be pressured into doing that. However, what we are seeing is that if you can focus on things that reduce the friction for a gamer to get into a game, smart wallets are starting to allow to do these types of things. If you start to present better looking game experiences that aren't crappy play to win or play to earn games, and you make a game that's a great game, there's starting to be a little bit more ability for a traditional gamer to want to engage in those experiences. So Off the Grid. So here's what's going on with Off the Grid. If you haven't seen it, it is an extraction royale right now is the current mode that it's in. All of the crypto and the NFT and the blockchain is completely hidden from players at this moment in time. It's all turned off. It is on Xbox, PlayStation, and the Epic Game Store. So Steam, which is a big PC platform, tends to not be too crypto blockchain friendly, and so that's why
that'll change. But yeah, I think it will.
Correct.
But yeah.
Correct. And so even though it's all turned off, they've decided to go to the Epic Game Store. And the other, fascinating thing is like these are on consoles, which, that's pretty fascinating.
They did a good job there. Yeah.
Yeah. The way that they're really thinking about it is similar to, if anyone knows Counter-Strike, CSGO, or now called CS2, which is one of the biggest games on Steam. The way that they execute their marketplace is as you go and you earn items in the game, you can trade them on the marketplace. Now you can't necessarily like cash out of that. If you can technically on the gray market.
Yeah, there's gray market with CSGO, significant one. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the behavior that you're engaging in and that players will engage in with Off the Grid is something that they already know. They don't have to learn something new. And so that's going to be one of the, kind of the gateway drug, so to speak, is, by allowing players to not have to immediately, before I even log into a game, set up a wallet and deal with all of that bullshit. Like, how do I even know if I like the game or not? And you want me to do this whole wallet thing. So right now, because all of that's off, they're just focusing on the gameplay. This is going to be a little bit of the way I think we can sneak in like a spoonful of sugar, right? With in the words of the great Mary Poppins, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. So by hiding it and it being in the background, players won't necessarily revolt. So the other thing that they're doing, which is incredibly fascinating from a marketing perspective, is that the chain is putting a lot of money into marketing the game via influencers. So some of the most famous influencers on the planet for shooters, Ninja, Shroud, are participating in this and being incentivized to play. And they're also being incentivized on the back end because they are going to be able to collect a portion of the trade as the trades happen for their skins. They'll be able to collect, in a sense, an ongoing rev share or a royalty. And so what's going to incentivize them to do for this is to continue to play. So back in the day when Apex Legends, you know Apex Legends? So when Apex launched, Ninja or Shroud, one of them, I always forget which one it was paid like $1 million to play the game for a week. After a week, he dropped off. And what happened was Apex had the biggest launch ever. It was surprise. It was, everyone's like, oh, this is so great. But it quickly fell off because all of the players saw that the streamers inauthentically were playing this game. They were just being paid to play.
People saw through it. Yeah.
People saw through it. And so what we as marketers and game makers and people who are working with influencers, we have to figure out ways to have them authentically stay engaged with the game so that players don't smell the bull. And so one of the ways that they are looking to do that, rumored, is by giving them a rev share off of the skins that are going to get traded long term. So they'll want to stay engaged and they'll want to continue to stream. So the marketing of Off the Grid is almost as interesting to follow too as the way that they're hiding blockchain and Web3.
Yeah. Very interesting take on Off the Grid. There, I think I'm in agreement with all of it, and even a lot of what we've been doing is starting to minimize the amount of crypto language because we are preparing for a mainstream game launch. But we do want those tools to be in the background because it's powerful, and we could bring so many people over to crypto if we do this right, and if we keep the language, the knee-jerk causing reaction language, to a minimum, to where they can just get in and play. And you know what? Then if down the line you realize you can actually sell your assets in a decentralized liquid marketplace, that's going to make you all the more positive if you've had a great gaming experience. So that's kind of our philosophy on it. I think what Off the Grid is doing is very important, and I'm happy to see so far their success. And I hope it isn't what you said with what happened with Apex Legends. I didn't know that it died off that quickly, but I am aware of it. And, I hope they don't have that kind of reaction. I think so far it's a good, authentic, people are having fun, but who knows? They had a significant war chest of capital that they've raised. And we're in process of working towards that to prep for our launch. That kind of leads me to some of my next questions, which is, okay, you're our advisor on the marketing side, and kind of want to just share with our community some of the thoughts that you would have around preparing for a mainstream launch. And I know you have a call with Matt later today where you'll be deep diving into some great stuff. But we're prepping for this change in our phase from pre-alpha to alpha, and and with that for us is launching on Epic Store and mainstream. And we want to put some significant marketing towards that. And we will over time as things are improving where we can really start to do that. But what is your take on how we would start prepping for a launch?
Yeah, I think that the way that people are launching games is very different than it has been in the past. And so with Off the Grid, this is a early access launch, right? And so in the past, none of us used to pay attention to early access. It is now, in a sense, a mini launch of your game, where and players, as you know, have so many different things to choose from.
Yeah,
like we have infinite choices, and if you F it up at this stage, you tend to not get people back. And so you have to be very, very mindful of each of these stages where you come out publicly, that it's got to be a good way to go. And so what I always recommend to people is that community and influencers are, in a sense, the new marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't made a TV commercial in, I don't know, 10 years or more.
Yeah.
Now trailers and, videos and all these other things, absolutely.
So you don't want to do
Performance
you don't
marketing.
want us to do door hangers.
Door hangers or billboards in Times Square, probably not going to
Yeah.
recommend.
100.
Especially in the US,
Yeah.
right? Like in other countries, actually out of home, it's called out of home, like a subway ad or a billboard ad. In some countries, that is actually still a really great way to market. But what you will see here are brand new ideas and ways to engage your community, which haven't been done before. And so one of the things that we're going to talk about is this like amazing company. They're called Windwalk. They have a platform that is going to really take our community to the next level. And so think about it is in a way that really gamifies community and gives the community benefits for engaging with not only the content inside of Cornucopias, but also with other people's content. And so imagine, if you will, we're like, hey, you can go in, you can earn maybe a little bit of token, maybe some in-game reward by going and liking our post of our latest demo video, by going and liking a community member's post who did a teardown of something in the game, by going and doing an in-game activity. All of these different in-game and out-of-game behaviors can earn you something that is only going to, in a sense, make the community bigger. One of the things that's super important is referrals. If you bring in a friend and you earn more points, then we can go from, a friend of mine uses this platform from Windwalk, and they went from 10,000 Twitter followers for a Web3 game, by the way, Web3 game called Mystery Society.
Okay.
They went from 10,000 Twitter followers to 50,000 Twitter followers in under a week. So wow. 10 to 50 because of this platform. And so this is
Did
the
they have
new
to put a
kind
huge
of
amount of money behind those incentives, or?
They did not.
That's amazing.
They did not.
So
they used token, they used in-game rewards, and they also got benefit because the creators, when you're pushing to a creator who then gets kind of a referral or affiliate bonus, the creators are so excited that they do more content for you. So it becomes this flywheel where everybody's benefiting by sending everybody and really just leveraging the fact that everyone's a super fan.
The flywheel concept is a great one when it comes to business and marketing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love that idea, first of all, that it gamifies engagement and participation and all of that. We've actually been doing that in our Discord, but this sounds like, Windwalk sounds like engagement on steroids. Like it works with multiple platforms, correct?
It does. And that's what's amazing is you don't have to get rid of anything that you have. In fact, it makes all of it better. You can do all of this across Twitch and Discord and Twitter and, any of your platforms. Yeah. And, some people are even putting it inside of their games. It just all depends. Now you have to hook it all up, but, where this is going is just going to be, to me, community 2.0 or 3.0. Like it's really leapfrogging the disparate, social media places where people are. It makes it such that it doesn't really matter where you are. You can still engage in, like, this even goes into Slack. So the other cool thing that it does is it sends Discord bots or Twitter bots. It sends bots out to all of the different platforms and will drop your currency or whatever it is. And so you can actually have bots working for you as well. Oh my God. This stuff it's really like cutting edge community building stuff. So
I love it.
As we work together, we will like start to really integrate that, work with these guys. And this is going to be the flywheel. That's going to be our key marketing strategy.
Yeah, I love it. That's a great one. And I know that Matt will be on board with that. He's actually looked at a few similar ones that we've somewhat pulled the trigger on before, and we tried them for a bit, but like this from your perspective and with that kind of track record that they've got there, I think it sounds ideal for where we're at and what we need to do in growing our community ahead of this launch. And primarily we're trying to grow the Web3 community right now. And maybe a little of mainstream we're picking up, but we're not ready for mainstream yet. Like you said, we get one shot with
Get
some
one
of those
shot.
guys.
Yeah, and I think this is going to help you do that. And what's great about what these guys do is we can kind of dial the levers depending on the audience. And so what they do for Web3 works really well. What they do for traditional gaming, and by the way, their clients are in both worlds. And they can customize the experience depending on who our audience is and what our need is. And so like a lot of really cool stuff to come.
I love it.
To come from there.
It's been such a privilege to have you guys join what we're doing here, and we're glad to have you. And I want to thank you for coming on to Copi Cafe today. Again, anybody watching, please go visit her podcast, Deconstructor of Fun. What Jen and Philip are doing is important for the gaming industry, and you guys can just learn a little bit from what they're doing. So we'll include the link to that in the bottom of this episode in the description. And Jen, thanks again for coming. Look forward to more with you. We'll definitely have you back on the show at some point more, in the future. And yeah, great to see you.
Oh, thanks, Josh. Thank you for letting me just ramble on and on and on and steamroll this. It's a lot of fun to talk about myself.
Yeah, it is. Thank you for sharing. And I'm learning. I was actually taking some notes while I was going, so it's good. Well, we'll see you on the next one. And I know we have a call with you and Matt here in a few hours, so I'm going to join that if I can.
Cool. All right. Look forward to it.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, well, that was great to have Jen here with us, and she has loads of wisdom, as you might have picked up on, around marketing and gaming, because her specialty is that's her specialty, and that's why we chose to bring her in. So very excited about that. Next up, we have some questions. So, Rob, are you ready?
Go for it.
Okay. This is from Verdict or Vcuredict.
He's a regular customer.
He's
a regular customer.
Yeah,
he provides a lot of questions for us.
Yeah, quite true. Will the marketplace eventually be added to the game launcher? Also, will we be able to access the marketplace within the game?
Yes, the version 3 of the marketplace is definitely being built with APIs at the back end. So to begin with, it'll all be on our website. But yeah, moving forward in the future, it will find itself in game as well. Whether it goes in the launcher, there's no reason why it couldn't go into the launcher as well. We'll just have to see. But yeah, definitely on the website and definitely with in game in the future. Okay,
great answer. And yep, that's all part of our plans. Okay, next question. This is from S:Co of the
Psycho.
Mafia. Huh?
Psycho.
Is that what that's supposed to be?
I don't know.
Of the Mafia.
Could be wrong.
I like that users can use a credit card to buy an access pass. Will we see credit cards used for buying NFTs too? I would really prefer saving my crypto and spending fiat, just like on book.io.
Yeah, well, I mean, like we've just gone through before, in developing that access pass, that now gives us a whole flow of people being able to use credit cards and buy directly assets within the game. And then in the future, what we're working on is you'll be able to buy assets with the credit card or with Copi. Now, if you buy with the credit card, what will happen in the background, either we'll buy off a DEX or some other mechanism, but we will convert that. So you will actually be using a credit card, paying in your local fiat, dollars or pounds. It will be converted in the background to Copi that's already existing in the ecosystem, in the crypto world. And it will be that Copi that ends up buying those assets. But so that's not what's happening at the moment, but that's what we're working on for next year.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Next question. Horsey. This is from Horsey. Can you please post each item's stats or attributes and the approximate time until each item will be usable in game prior to each mint? For example, how many item slots This is actually common in some mainstream gaming as well. How many item slots does each backpack have, and are they standardized across backpacks? For example, all medium equals XX slots, all large equals XX slots. What, if any, differences do each jetpack model have? For example, do some give greater thrust, faster recharge rate, and or provide greater storage capacity, if any? And will you list those attributes prior to the sale? Thanks.
I missed that. Can you repeat that?
No. That was a very robust question.
Yeah. So the sale is next week. We're working on those now. There's a lot of information to gather together. So we'll release them for phase 1 and then probably phase 2. We may even release all the items together. I'm not sure, but before you get it, they will be there. And if they're not there, because it's being released in the build, which is within less than a week, you will be able to either see it in game or you'll be able to talk to other players. So that information is going to come really, really quick.
Yeah, and the primary sentiment I heard in that question is a desire for more information ahead of the sale, and that's definitely our intentions, and that should be happening very, very soon.
We'll put it on the
may
Copi
not
Wiki.
be that we give all information prior, but we want to give you as much as we possibly can that is decided upon. And then the utility of the assets for most of these, they will be available, or all of these, right, are available in the next build that
Apart
comes
from
out?
the cargo ship in the next build, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that brings us to the leak. Rob, are you ready?
Ooh, yes. So what we are looking at here, because people have seen some of these images, if you look at the top, this is actually going to be our marketplace for next week.
One of my favorite things about these corn cuties is that they each have one tooth coming out.
As
just
a little
one
tooth, yeah. Just kind of hint.
Yeah.
So these are the hero images. There's underneath, there is more images and you'll be able to filter. We'll go through them one by one as they rotate. So in world building, we've got different manufacturers. This is an extra large backpack from the Cargo Outfitters, which is the name of the manufacturer. This is the F9R. This gives a big hint to what's going to be in phase 1. But you can also see our model there. She is demonstrating one of the new outfits. We have Random Metalworks, the Junkerjet jetpack. So that's built by our Earthlings. And here we go, the free Quantum Jack. And they'll have loads of movements with inside that head. And that will be free. We have seen the 0G before, but I mean, look at the way it's presented.
I like the detail. If you look at the 0G branding on the actual jetpack in the back there, that was kind of raised 3D. That was really well done. And, obviously we've created quite a few brands within Cornucopias. I don't know how many logos Mark's done, but it's been a lot.
Yeah. And in the world building, the brands, some of the brands compete against each other. So we've got Valkyrie there competing with Bubblejet. In evolving the new Bubblejet that's coming, we've had to imagine what Bubblejet how they would take their Bubblejet design, fast forward a decade or so. I don't know how many decades. I'd have to check with David. And then what does that new Bubblejet look like in the future? So you have to kind of be macro level vision and then micro when you're looking at the manufacturers. Later, I won't do it now, but when this goes live, you'll be able to scroll down. You'll be able to see what chains these are on. And for all these sales, they're on both chains, on Cardano and base. And so you'll be able to choose which chain you want to buy it on. It'll probably also show you how long it's going to be left in the store. I think maybe a countdown and the price. And give us your feedback just before you like, subscribe, and comment. Give us your feedback. What you think of this new marketplace? I think it looks pretty boss.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm very excited. Obviously, they haven't seen below the fold yet. Only a hint at that, but below the fold, it gets even better. You get more item descriptions, etc. But there's a tiny little peek. That's as much as we can give there. But it's we'll show more of that soon, obviously, and it will have more information per Horsey's request as well. And we've got a lot coming pretty quickly, and it's going to be fun. But the good news is this is a longer form sale. This is not a super quick one like before. We'll have these assets up for a bit, but only a short bit. Like that we may bring them back later, but this does not. They're not going to remain permanently available.
Yeah, and that's not only a leak of the marketplace. I'm pretty sure that will be phase one of the sale. Those items that you just saw.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's a conclusion. Thanks for watching Copi Cafe, everyone. This has been episode 108, and as always, we're really thankful for you guys, our community. And if you're new to us, please jump in our Discord and ask questions. Everybody in there is friendly and glad to help you out, help you learn more about what we've got going on. And until the next episode, we'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Don't care what you say. I don't care what you say.